All right, we are and we're live. I would like to make sure that I can hear myself and then that I can hear you. Okay, well, I can
Sounds
hear
good.
myself, so give me a little.
Howdy, y'all. How's it going?
All right, I can hear you. Perfect. All right, we are going. I've texted Nate. He should arrive at some point. This is week 22. It is the Lost Las Vegas preview. Vegas, baby. Is there more to say? Really, we can sum it up in two words. Everyone thought this race would suck when it first got announced, and we saw the track that looks like an upside down pig, but everyone was proven wrong. And racing down the Las Vegas Strip is just as flashy as it sounds. Some really good racing here in the past year, so it should be some good racing here this year. The race is on a Saturday night, making it the only Saturday race of the year, and it starts the triple header that will take us to Abu Dhabi and the end of the 2025 season. This is it. This is the home stretch for Formula One. We are doing it. It is the home race of Haas. They're American. They get to claim all three. So will Cadillac next year. So they get three home races. For Haas, it's really Texas. For Cadillac, it's also probably Texas, like more than Miami and Vegas, but they get to claim all three. All right, if we had multiple races in the UK, all the UK teams would claim both. So Ferrari claims both Italy races. So that is,
Yeah, we're not the only one.
yeah. But we get three because we're better than everybody else. And also, our country is ginormous. And people live all throughout it. So, you know, there's a lot of people, lot of space. We can fit some. We have so much space for racetracks, but two of our races, one's in the parking lot of the Miami Dolphin Stadium, the other one's on the Las Vegas Strip. So we do have this space for don't America could easily build a ton of really awesome racetracks, very scenic too. Like what? Imagine one with like the Rockies in the background. That'd be like in the prairie. That'd be awesome. Like it would be flat as hell, but
Yeah, I mean,
um,
Wyoming's got nothing going on.
except for Yellowstone.
Yeah, well, that's a small subsection of northern Wyoming.
Southern. Oh no, it is northern. It is northern. My bad. My bad. I got my geography. I flipped it with Montana. Yes.
Oh, man.
Um, so that is like we could, but we don't. So you're gonna race in Miami and Vegas, and you're gonna like it. When's the Baltimore GP? That's what I want to
Fixing
know.
those potholes?
Let's build like a track over the harbor. You can race through the aquarium. They could probably do it.
That would
Um,
be cool as hell.
Baltimore could
It
use the
would
money.
suck, though. Yeah,
Baltimore could use
they
the
could.
money.
They could.
So that's my petition. Baltimore GP on the streets. We don't even pave the streets if you get wrecked by and we let traffic go. So if you got to weave in and out, which is how most people in Baltimore drive anyway. So it's fine. Driving in Baltimore is every 5 seconds going, and that's why your car looks like that.
It's just turned
So
into a giant game of Mario Kart.
yeah, exactly. Items are Glock 17s and Mac 10s, both of which I've seen carried by people in Baltimore.
It's a great
Anyways,
place.
enough about my criminal friends, coworkers, not friends. Um, ex-coworkers. I don't work there anymore. Let's get to the schedule. I'm gonna start doing the full schedule for every race weekend. I think even if it's not a sprint. So Thursday, 7:30 p.m. practice one. Thursday at 11, that's practice two. Friday at 7:30 p.m., that's practice three. Friday at 11 p.m. is qualifying, and Saturday at 11 p.m. is the race. It is going to be a late night. It is going to be a weekend of late nights.
Hell yeah.
So and it's gonna be
Time for
cold.
me to practice going to bed early.
You need to practice going to bed early.
Yeah, I have been, but
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be sleepy as hell, but You know what? It's a Friday night and a Saturday night. I don't have anything going on the days after those, so it's fine. Yes, 11 p.m. quali, 11 p.m. race. Um, and that those of course Eastern time. I think it's like 4 a.m. British time. So that's fun for them.
Oh,
Uh, the current standings we discussed at the end of last show, so we don't really need to go over them again. There hasn't been any changes. I'm just including them here for prosperity, uh, or posterity or whatever, whatever word you want to use. I don't care. Um,
Posterity.
I think it's posterity. Anyway, all you need to know is it's close. It's close between a lot of different people at a lot of different places. The midfield for the obviously the top of the drivers is still in contention. The midfield for the drivers is very, very close. And then the first, second, third for the drivers, and then like sixth, seventh, eighth for the I'm sorry, second, third, and fourth for the constructors, and then sixth, seven, eight for the constructors is also pretty close. But again, we covered that more in depth at the review. Um, so that's, I mean, unless you have anything to say about the standings, we can just move on. Also, hi, Nate.
whoa.
Whoa, there you are. There you are.
Oh. Yeah, I've got nothing on the standings though. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. No worries. We covered it at the end of last episode. Anyway, so let's get into the preview. Let's just jump right into it. The early predictions favor Mercedes. Their car suits this track over everyone else, and it's going to be cold. Temperatures could hit below 50, which, for reference, Andrew especially, that's half of what it was in Austin. So imagine the temperature in Austin. I'll cut that in half. And Mercedes does tend to fare better in colder weather. That's just always been a quirk of their engineering. I don't really. It's suspected it's because of where their factory is. It's always cold, so their car just does better in the cold. Um, this is also the only track for the remainder of the year where McLaren are expected to struggle. And a strong Mercedes and a struggling McLaren could lead to some drama in the overall standings, especially between Merc, Red Bull, and Ferrari, who will all be looking to pounce on the McLaren if McLaren truly is slow. McLaren was supposed to struggle in Monza too, and they got a 2-3. So it's not like it's a guarantee that McLaren is going to suck. But the early talk has all been about Vegas is not going to be McLaren's race. They've kind of all accepted that. But it will be Mercedes's race. That's been the early talk for multiple weeks now. So that's not new. That's very common, or not like common, but like that's old talk. So people have been saying that for a while. But like I said, just because McLaren are expected to be slow doesn't mean they will be. This track is most similar to Monza. Like I said, McLaren got a 2-3, so you can't completely count them out. I think the competition is going to be a lot closer and more fierce than it has been in the previous races. I wouldn't expect McLaren to just shoot off into the, I guess it's not the sunset because the sun will have already set, but, into the sunrise, I guess. So,
To the nightlife.
yeah, into the nightlife. They're gonna go. For Vegas, your pit stop should be you have to win at a slot machine. Yeah, your driver has to get out of the car and pull slots until you win, and then you can get back in. I feel like that would be every place should have like every race should have like a pit stop challenge. Like Austin, you have to ride a bucking bull, or like one of your pit crew has to do it.
This is why no one will ever let us design a sports league.
In Italy, you have to eat an entire plate of lasagna. And then you have to go race a race car and try not to throw up. If you throw up, you get disqualified. Um,
What
in
the hell?
in England, you have to write an apology for colonizing most of the world, even if you aren't English. Australia, you have to commit a crime.
Oh no, Australia should be you have to catch a snake.
I'm down for that. Box a kangaroo.
Oh hell yeah!
You ever see that video of that guy boxing a kangaroo? Have you ever seen this? I don't think it's real, but it's really good. I'll send it to you. China, you have to increase your social score. You have to do activities that increase your social credit. Japan, you have to duel a samurai.
You have to duel a. Did you just say that?
Yeah, you have to duel a samurai in Japan, and you have to
I
win.
feel. Nah, dude. I
Well,
feel like it should
yeah,
be
you
like
have
a
to
bonsai
win.
tree.
If you
Oh
lose,
yeah,
you're dead.
I like that. I like that. You have to crawl down into that pit in Karate Kid 2 where the bonsai tree is, and you have to go get it. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about? Is that 2? That was 2, right?
What?
I don't know.
It was. Hold on, I'm googling it.
I
This is
don't
a
know
detour.
I
Karate Kid
freaking more,
2
dog.
bonsai tree
I need freaking
images.
more.
Yeah, there it is. It's on the cliff. They're climbing the cliff. See?
Oh God, bro. Okay, fair. I walk this into that.
All right, that's what
Oh
you have to
no,
do.
Nate.
That's what you have to do in Japan. If you're watching this on YouTube, in the comments, let me know what you have to do in other countries because especially Brazil and Mexico, because I feel like I don't know, and I don't want to
Look, look.
say like without getting. I feel like I could get canceled for what I want to say for, so we're not gonna go that far. Um, Let me know what you should do in other countries and in Miami especially. I don't like I do a line of blow off a hooker's ass. Like
Rabid Florida man.
you gotta wrestle an alligator. That's good. That is good. Yeah, you gotta wrestle an alligator. Um, or you can do a line of blow off a hooker's ass. It's your choice.
You get options.
Well, one driver has to do one, the other driver has to do the other. So you have to pick,
You'll
if
start
you're
behind
world
and then come
championship
try and
leader, you
Mike.
don't want to wrestle the alligator because what if you get your arm bit off?
Everyone's substitute driver is in that week.
Yeah. Suddenly Max Verstappen's really sick. I feel like he could wrestle an alligator though. But I
I
also feel
don't
like
think he could.
no, I think he could, but I think he would be I think of all the drivers, he would be the best at doing a line of blow off a hooker's ass. This episode is not safe for kids. This is the adult. This is Formula One. This is at night. This is F101 at night. All right. This is the sexy episode.
At least we're on brand for the Vegas GP.
That's true. Did anyone else see the Max Verstappen themed stripper?
No.
No. All right. Well, hold on.
Well,
You guys have TikTok?
Yes. I
All right.
deleted Instagram actually.
You deleted Instagram. Okay, hold on.
It is
Let me
no
find
longer on
this.
my phone. Apologies if you've been sending me stuff there. I have not received it.
I guarantee you that I
you
haven't.
deleted Instagram?
I was more apologizing for Nate.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna find this fuck ass video.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Where is it? Did it get deleted? Oh, was it sent to me on Instagram? Maybe it was sent to me on Instagram. Angie, you may have to re-download Instagram. Oh, it was on Instagram. Sorry, Andrew. All right. Nate, I'm sending it to you. Andrew, I'm gonna screen record this. I'll do this later. Andrew, I'm gonna remind me to screen record this later. I sent it to Nate. It's a Max Verstappen themed stripper. You can watch it later. We gotta get back to the show. Where was I? Oh, okay, yes. So the competition is going to be fierce. And pit stops could always like if it's close. McLaren's pit stops have gotten better, but it could always a bad pit stop would be brutal for them here. In a race where they are probably not going to be as good. But along with Mercedes being strong, I would expect Verstappen to perform well here and keep the championship pipe dream alive. He races really well here. He handles the late night conditions well. If the car is there, he'll be too. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The team will need Tsunoda to put in a strong point scoring performance in order to keep them at third in the constructors. They got gifted the double Ferrari DNF, and while you can't count out Ferrari from Ferrarying it, you can't bank on it either. So Tsunoda is still also racing for his future along with Hadjar and Lawson. So there's going to be a lot of comparisons drawn between the three, I think, especially in these final three races. And Red Bull's really going to need Yuki to step up, keep them in that podium position for the Constructors' Championship. Pivoting back briefly to Mercedes, both Russell and Antonelli are coming off a strong performance in Brazil and onto a track that should suit the car. So I think they're going to do really well here. Antonelli has beaten Russell twice in a row now and will want to keep that going. Russell won here last year, and Hamilton got second, giving Mercedes a 1-2, and Hamilton got second after qualifying 10th. So he was able to carve up the field. And I wouldn't be surprised to see another double McLaren podium for 2 weekends in a row. McLaren, like we said, projected to be slower this weekend. It actually may suit the team. The constructors is all said and done. They've won the constructors, and now Norris and Piastri are focused on the drivers. This race, if Norris and Piastri are not racing for the win of the race, they're going to be focusing on racing each other instead of the other 18 drivers. We kind of saw this in Spa, or was it Hungary, where they were like, what pit strategy do you want? And it was like, whatever one beats Oscar or whatever one beats Lando. Like, I don't care about anyone else. I just want to beat the other guy. So I think that dynamic is really gonna come back, especially if they aren't in contention for the win. You're gonna see them more fighting each other. Not that they're not gonna aim for the win or the podium, of course, but if it's out of reach, I feel like their strategy is more gonna be like, okay, if I pit now, I lose the advantage to Ferrari, but I gain the advantage over my teammate, and I think they'll take that over, trying to fight a different team. They have a lot of stake here, obviously, in the drivers, and making a mistake like racing a Ferrari or Red Bull or Mercedes would be extremely costly. And so if a win and a podium is out of contention, like it's not feasible, and they're racing a Ferrari and they crash, then that is like, why would you even bother when you just need to stay ahead of your teammate? So, and I get you want to be further up in the standings, of course, as well. But at a point, I think, I feel like we could see this dynamic really come into play this race. And that's just because the win and maybe even the podium are at least projected to kind of be not a guarantee for them. So I was drinking some water. Nate, thoughts? This is your team.
On thoughts on McLaren here? I certainly agree with you where if they're not competing or contending for the win, they are gonna fully be focused on each other. Um, although that being said, and I know we'll kind of get into like podiums and whatnot later, I I see Lando competing for the win. I'm gonna kind of skip ahead here. I think Lando's gonna be competing for the win. I trust his pace. I don't think it's gonna be easy by any means, but I don't think it's ever easy. Um, especially on a track that McLaren again is historically not performed well on. Um, but at this point, I'm just so sold on Lando. I mean, I've been sold on him all year. It's not like this is anything new, but especially kind of like once he had his bit of resurgence at like Monaco and whatnot. Just I trust his pace. I trust in him finding pace. As for Oscar, I mean, I little less sold. I frankly like I'm not gonna get into my full podium right now, but I don't really have Oscar on it, respectfully.
Well, Nate, you haven't had him on it, I don't think, the entire year, pretty much.
No, I've had him in like second or third a few times, but regardless, like specifically this weekend, not you going to fact check me right now.
Last time you had Piastri was in third place in Baku, so that was week 17.
Yeah, so I've had him on there.
I was
He's
more
been pretty close.
I was more fact checking Andrew. He's had him on here in second and third a few times.
What's the total number?
I don't have that. I don't have that data. I don't have that data readily available. All right, you talk, I'll count. Go.
But yeah, so I like I said, yeah, like I don't necessarily I don't have Oscar on my podium, but I do think a McLaren will be competing for the win. Um, it will not be easy. It will definitely be, I think, closer than some of their other wins for sure. Um, because the track, like you said, like the track does not necessarily play to their favor. Um, but yeah, I'm a firm believer. So as long as, barring any incident, I think I don't think it's going to come to that full, all right, I'm focused on the other side of the garage dynamic. I think it's still going to be, no, I'm trying to win the whole thing. Um,
Mm. All right. I mean, yeah. I like I said, you can't count them out. That for sure. Um,
mm,
Even if like the projections are like they won't be as good. But that's just that's why I want thoughts. Always good to have a different opinion. For a fact check, Nate, for the first 7 races in a row, had Oscar on the podium in second or third.
Okay.
He's had him a total of 12
yeah,
times, which, if he doesn't put him on the podium anymore, will be 50% of all races
50% of the time he's had him on the podium.
on the podium. He's never predicted anyone but Norris to win. So,
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
so
We knew that.
right. So 50% of the time he's had Oscar on the podium. I don't know, and I didn't count like per position, just podium appearances. So we'll see. We'll see how I think McLaren is like weirdly enough going to be like the team to watch. Where in recent like races, they're not the team to watch because everyone just expects him to kind of win. A lot, at least a lot this year for sure. Where it's like the more interesting teams have been like Ferrari messing it up, or like Mercedes kind of having like a moment, or Red Bull or whatever the midfield. But this race, I think at least in practice and qualifying, will be like, all right, well, let's see what McLaren can actually do. And shaking things up further for everybody, no matter if they're involved or not, is this extremely close midfield. Everyone's got their battles to focus on. Aside from Williams, Williams is pretty sealed into 5th place in the constructors. But if they keep failing to score points and VCarb keeps performing, it could get uncomfortably close for Williams. But barring a miracle, Albon's going to get 8th place in the drivers, and Williams will get 5th in the constructors. Sainz, however, is right in that driver's pack with everyone else. That being said, Williams and Albon aren't going to just coast the end of the year. It's not who they are. So I would think that if Williams and Albon didn't score any points for the rest of the year, it wouldn't be because they're just like, we're fine, we're secured in where we are. It would be, oh no, this is a disaster. So they're not gonna, they're not gonna coast even if like 5th is secured for the team and then for Albon. And obviously Sainz has got a lot to fight for. So uh, you know, he's he's not doing great in the drivers, despite being Ferrari's most recent race winner. And he isn't even on the team. The rest of the midfield, though, are separated by a very small spread. 20 points between VCarb, Aston, Haas, and Sauber. 21 points between Hulk, Hadjar, Behrman, Alonso Sainz, Lawson Stroll, Ocon, Tsunoda, and Gasly. None of their places are set in stone in the championship. Things can and will move around a lot in this final header. Like I mentioned in an earlier episode, you'll get these drivers with nothing to lose going against drivers with everything to lose, which creates a risky and exciting scenario. Not to bring this up, but sorry, Nate, but Hulkenberg in the Austin sprint. That dynamic of a driver's like, I got nothing to lose, might as well go for it. And then these, McLarens or Mercedes or Red Bulls getting caught in that, it's way more like devastating for those teams. And they're gonna, if in a racing scenario that's not just the first lap chaos, you'll see, I think, these midfield drivers are definitely going to be more willing to take a risk. Because why wouldn't you? And like I've also mentioned earlier, of all of the midfield teams, Haas is the most on the charge right now. But VCarb is also racing strong. The battles between these two teams, I think, are going to be good to watch as VCarb tries to hold on to 6th from the charging Haas. I mean, Haas has been, and Behrman especially, have been on fire lately. So I think, I think it's going to be exciting to watch them as the season goes on. And I hope that they keep doing well, and so that my prediction from Silverstone will be vindicated. And that's really what's important, is that I'm right. More than anything else. Remember that. Aston is 2 ahead of Haas in the standings, but the recent form and inconsistency leads me to believe they're not going to keep it. I think Haas probably passes Aston this weekend. Stroll has not been great lately, and Alonso has had horrible luck. Stroll's performance, despite what Nate may want, has not been great. Thirst traps or not.
I'm going to make the hardest Lance Stroll edit you have ever seen.
That's fine. I know you want to.
Wait.
I know you want to bang Lance Stroll. Like,
I
just
should've
go
screen
get a
I should have
room.
screen recorded those stories. I just
Get
realized that. Damn, that was a missed
get
opportunity. I'm
you.
sure
You're
somebody else out
screen
there did.
recording Lance
I
Stroll
should have.
thirst traps.
I should have.
What
Does
I don't
Put
think
it
Nat
on
you're
know?
supposed to
compilation.
be a Fernando believer. What
Does
is it?
does Natalie know like about your
I didn't get. Damn, I didn't get to show her the. Oh man.
so no is the answer. She doesn't know that you're
Yeah.
you're
Thirsting over
thirsting
Lance
over a
Stroll.
man that another host on this podcast called a window licker.
I forgot about that.
So, just so everyone's on the same page, Nate has been thirsting over Lance Stroll in my
Okay, hold on.
in my
To
DMs.
clarify, I was just curious as to what a Lance Stroll thirst trap indicates.
To
Usually, thirst
clarify,
traps indicate a seismic shift in the F1 verse. I wanted to know what a Lance Stroll trap would bring. That's all I wanted to know. It turned into thirsting. I do not deny.
Nate texted me and said, "Man, I really want to have relations with Lance Stroll." Um, and to further clarify, a Lewis thirst trap doesn't just mean a shift; it means someone gets fired.
A
That,
seismic shift in someone's personal life that is related to F1.
that's what it says. Someone gets fired. It's more specific than just a shift. It's a firing. Um,
Career shift.
my prediction, my thought theory is that it means that we're gonna get a Stroldium uh this weekend.
Is that a Stroll podium?
That is a Stroll podium. And hopefully we get Stroll position as well. So that's my hope. Yes. Bortoletto, moving on. Bortoletto in the Sauber is going to be looking to recover from his disaster of a home race. And the team's going to need him and Hulk to perform in order to keep them alive in this midfield conversation. Sauber in general seems to have lost some form since Austin. So hopefully for them, they can find it again and get back in the points. Alpine, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, actually has some hope. Sure, they're basically relegated to last in the constructors unless a miracle happens and for them and a disaster happens for everyone else. But Gasly was on one in Brazil, and while he got only the final point in the sprint in the race, if the car was better, he definitely could have gotten more. Lots of momentum for Gasly right now, and he continues to be the only bright spot on the team while Colapinto searches for his first points of the season, and Colapinto is running out of time to do that. But yeah, Alpine obviously not great, but Pierre is like a really bright spot for the team after last week. So, and I think they've got, I think that's a good thing for them. I think there's still a lot wrong, and I don't think a lot's going to get fixed as long as Briatore's in charge. But hey, maybe things will be better next year with Briatore in charge because the team will just cheat and they'll win. So maybe you
It'll
never
be
know.
better for a short time.
Yeah, until they
And then
get
they'll
caught.
inevitably get caught.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is the race preview. Anything you would like to add, either of you, before we get into these podium predictions?
I mean, just from the midfield side of things with Haas, it'll be I think it'll be interesting to watch Lawson, Hajar, and Behrman kind of go head to head. Hopefully, they go head to head again. I think it's been the last 2 races now where they've all kind of been close. Um, just kind of see what what happens. With the rookies, fighting for the V carbs, fighting for who gets to stay in V carb and who has to go to Red Bull, and Behrman just trying to enjoy life before he goes to Ferrari.
Yeah, Behrman
I
is
guess.
waiting for Ferrari to take Lewis out back and old yeller him so he can get the seat.
But I think hopefully that'll be an interesting midfield battle. Just rookies have been bringing it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Haas has been, Behrman especially has been super exciting to watch lately. So, all right, Nate, anything to add, or are you ready to give me your podium?
Um, I think I'm ready to just to move on. I
All
don't think
right,
I have anything of actual substance to add.
I'm gonna try and
So,
soul read you. Norris in first, obviously.
mhm.
Not much of a soul read. Russell
Okay,
second.
next. Oh, I
Am
was
I
gonna
right?
go Antonelli second.
You are right.
Russell second.
Hmm.
Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Leclerc third. Your silence is deafening, Nate. Am I right?
He's
I was
mad he got
debating.
so red.
I was debating between Leclerc, Verstappen, and Stroll.
So, who are you gonna put?
I'm still uncertain.
I can't tell
Cause
you
I'm telling you,
Sam's until you pick, just because of certain.
no, yeah, because I'm telling you, like, dog, I'm gonna be like, look, if I don't put Stroll in third and then he gets third, I'm gonna be really pissed because I'm gonna be like, damn, I knew something was up when the story came up, but
Okay,
it's
I want you to look into your
just
heart.
it's just the odds.
Do you
That's all
really
I
think
have, man.
Stroll is gonna get third place?
No, if an Aston were to end up on the podium at this point in the year, I think it'd be Fernando. Um, I just, dude, cause like Max is like really into Hunt and super motivated, and I just don't trust Ferrari to not fuck shit up somehow. But like Leclerc is that talented. Like, ugh.
I think you've predicted Leclerc in third more than anybody else.
I know, and then the times I don't is when he wants to put himself on the freaking podium, and it
You've
pisses me
predicted
off.
Leclerc third between this year and last year a total of 17 times. That is 8 more than me, who has him at 9 times. Or I'm sorry, 8 more than Andrew, who's predicted him there 9 times. Me and Sam have both
He can't.
predicted it
I'm
there
putting
7.
Leclerc.
All right. So I did soul read you, just to put that on
Yes, you did
record.
soul read me.
I did soul read you. Okay. Sam's predictions are Norris,
Oh.
Verstappen, Antonelli.
Ah.
Oop, I did not spell Antonelli. All right. That's why I couldn't tell you, because you had Verstappen in there. So I didn't want to. I didn't want his Verstappen to like influence
Oh,
your.
influence.
Yes.
Nah, yeah, dude. I just.
All
It's
right.
just if Max has another awkward qualifying. All right, yeah, yeah, I gotta live with it. I
Hi.
gotta live with it.
Would you like to try and soul read me?
Would I like to try and soul read
It's
you?
only fair to give you the opportunity. If you don't want to, Andrew can try. You can pass the
I'll let Andrew
torch.
try if he wants to. Yeah, because I feel like I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna be
Okay,
disappointed at my own failure.
Okay.
Andrew.
Um,
If you don't want to, it's fine.
no, I'm gonna give this a roll. I'm not getting a lot from you, so this is gonna be more of a guess than a soul read. Um, you don't have Norris in first.
That's correct.
Okay. Who? You have Antonelli in second.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Mm-mm.
Is he on your
In-
podium?
I thought about it, but he is not on my podium.
He'll
Okay.
take the more experienced Merc.
Yeah.
Feel like it'd be.
Do you have Verstappen, Russell, Piastri, or Verstappen, Russell, Norris?
I have Verstappen, Russell, Norris.
Damn, I should have just went for it. Fuck.
I was really
Yeah,
torn between Oh, I'm sorry. I even typed Piastri out of habit. I I was torn. I knew I had Verstappen, Russell. I think they're both going to get on the podium. I don't know if they're going to be first, second. But I was really torn on that third place. I had Norris and Antonelli. I was tossing up between. Part of me really wanted to do Antonelli, wanted to get that double Merc podium in there. But I think this way I get 8 points at least, no matter what. So hopefully, so Andrew, I don't even know if I can. Do you have Verstappen, Russell, Antonelli? That seems like something you would do.
No, I don't.
Okay,
Although, because not what I texted you, but also my podium did change, so that's something
I
to think
totally
about.
forgot you texted me.
But no, my podium changed because
All right, you texted me at 9 in the morning.
I had a busy day. Okay, I was at work at 7.
Yeah, you're all good. You're all good.
I'm in an interesting position because I did some looking at pick the my results on pick the podium recently.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: I could get a perfect weekend and I could get back in it, or I could see if something really funny happens. And I'm kind of leaning to do the funny thing.
What's the funny
Because
thing?
I don't think I've gotten a single first place vote correct.
Incorrect. Austin Verstappen.
I did have Verstappen in Austin, but I've never put a McLaren in first and had that McLaren be the McLaren that won.
Incorrect. Piastri, Spain, first place.
Dang.
Oh, okay then.
But that is the only time. That is the only. So you've never gotten a Norris first place. You've actually never. You've predicted Norris to win in China, Japan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Miami, Belgium, Singapore. That's it. So it's not like you haven't been predicting him. You've just been predicting him when other people win.
But do I see if I just stick to the big bit and just pick Norris the last 3 races just to see if it'll hold, and if it does hold, it makes things interesting.
That is up to you, friend. You are our reigning champ.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm okay with not repeating. It's
With passing the torch.
Oh no, we're not passing the torch.
No.
This is like a prime UCLA in the 70s and 80s where we just win 8 out of 10. You gotta have the 1 year to reset.
Even Brady lost to Eli.
Exactly.
Okay.
Pittsburgh lost to Tim Tebow.
Damn straight they did. And what a beautiful game that was. Oh, I think about it often. Fuck the Steelers.
Give me Norris. Give me Verstappen. Give me Russell.
All right. Norris, Verstappen, Russell. All right. And the moment everyone's been waiting for. Tsunoda, Colapinto, Behrman. Would anyone like to guess why Dave ranked them in this order?
Oh, reverse. Oh, shortest to tallest.
No.
Um,
Nate, any guesses as to why Dave chose these 3 for his podium?
Does he just believe in Sonoda at the tables enough? Like, does he think that
It
is
is
gonna
very
have the most?
Vegas, but no.
No.
it based
Okay.
off of their similarity to someone in Ocean's 8 or Ocean's 11 or one of those?
That's really funny because there is a short little Asian guy, but Behrman and Colapinto don't fit. So I feel like you got to Tsunoda and stopped.
I got Sonoda in Vegas.
So no, that is not correct. His reasoning, I'm going to read his exact text. In order of who I'd be excited to see at Cirque du Soleil.
What?
That's what he said. So
Dave.
I there's other drivers I'd rather see, I think. I'd like to see Lewis at Cirque du Soleil. I'd like to see Max at Cirque du Soleil. Yuki's definitely for sure. Um,
Good lord.
but yes, that is that's our podiums. We'll see. We will know on Saturday. We'll actually know by Sunday, like early Sunday morning. Uh, who whoever's right or not. Um, I know sometimes in the past people you three have very quickly after the race ended gone to the pick the podium document to see what the scores are, and they haven't been updated because I've been updating them, and I see you guys pop in the top there. I'm like, give me a minute, damn. Um,
In my defense, I just look to see what the numbers are and do the math myself.
it's fair.
Yeah.
This I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably not updating this one after the race. I'm probably going to bed. So,
I'll update it.
please don't. I have very complicated, like not complicated, but there's a lot of like functions going on here. That it's not a manual. It's like all automated. So, or kind of automated. So, please let me do it just in case. So yes, that is the show. Thank you for being here. One quick thing before we go, and you got to come up with this quickly and on the spot. Andrew, pit stop challenge for the drivers in Belgium. What should they have to do? Nate, pit stop challenge, sorry, excuse me, for the drivers in the new Madrid street race. What are they going to have to do next year?
The new Madrid street race?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Andrew, you
they're
got
probably gonna have
Belgium.
to make a bar of chocolate, and then
Make a bar of chocolate, like from
dark chocolate or
scratch.
chocolate. Yeah, from scratch. You gotta melt
Doesn't that take?
refine the cocoa.
Doesn't that take a long? Doesn't that take like multiple years? How long does it take to refine a cocoa bean?
I don't know, man.
How long does it take to refine a cocoa?
We got some of the smartest people designing these cars. They should be able to figure it out.
All right, you got to make a bar of chocolate. Does it have to pass a certain taste test, or can it be ass?
I think it should have to pass a certain taste test.
Are you volunteering?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, if it means that I get to go watch the Belgium GP, absolutely.
Well, you can't. You'll be working. You'll be testing the chocolate.
Well, I'll be near the track.
That's true. That's true. All right, Nate.
And besides, I can have a TV there, so.
Very true. The Madring is what it's called, by the way.
Jesus.
Okay, so the drivers have to get out of their car and run from a bull the length of the pit lane and then get back in their car.
Wrong city, but I like it. I like it. I like it.
It's the nation that counts, all right?
It does. It is. It's true. It's true. I would have also accepted have to score a penalty kick because it's right by the Real Madrid stadium, or I would have accepted. There's this one turn in the track where they did a simulation of it, and the guy could never make the turn out of it. I also would have accepted making that turn in a simulator if they could do it in the real car. So yes, good. Andrew, I also would have accepted making a Belgian waffle.
That was what I was thinking for Belgium.
But aren't those not really Belgian?
I have no idea. They're called Belgian waffles. Is that not enough?
I mean, I guess. I didn't know if anyone from Belgium would be offended by that.
That's true.
Respect.
And I'm not saying what they're going to have to do for the Middle Eastern races because I don't want to get in trouble. So yes, leave your comments on what the pit stop challenge is for Mexico, Brazil, Canada, any of the other races we didn't mention that aren't in the Middle East. You know,
I
and
feel
keep
like
it
Canada
keep
should be maple syrup related.
Canada. You should have to wrestle a moose to the ground
Oh, that works too.
or apologize to 10 different people for arbitrary. Sorry, mate. Or score a penalty goal in a hockey skates. That'd be
That
fun.
would be funny. That'd be funny to watch.
Against Jonathan Quick, one of the best goalies to ever do it. No, it can be open net. Anyways, yeah. So leave. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave some podium challenges or not podium pit stop challenges below. And if anyone does, we'll bring them up next week and we'll discuss further. Speaking of next week, I will be able to do a show next week. I don't know when that show is going to be. We are discussing it. It might be a little earlier than normal, might be later than normal. I'm unsure. It might be just me at normal time, or I don't know, Sam might be here for once. I have no idea what's going on. We are going to figure it out, but there will be at a point on Wednesday the Vegas review and the Qatar preview. So make sure to keep your eyes on YouTube for that. It'll be uploaded after the show as always. So even if you missed the live stream, the YouTube upload will be there. Andrew, Nate, thank you for being here. And good night.
Thanks for having us.